Hello, good evening and welcome wherever you are. Welcome to the second English Comedy Night virtual edition. I'm so glad you're here. We had lots of fun at the last English Comedy Night virtual edition, and let me tell you what this is about. We are the English Comedy Night Cologne, and we're trying to raise some money to continue our services after the Corona crisis, because we did a little show once a month where we brought comedians from all over the world to an audience from all over the world, and this was a big happiness event of joy and showing that people can get together from everywhere and have a good laugh. And personally, my personal opinion, it was the best. Of course I say that because it was my show. It was the best and funniest show worldwide, and currently there's another show in town called Corona. That's why we can't have any shows, but we hope that someday it's possible again. And while that doesn't happen, we want to entertain you here. Now here's how this works. If you're watching at dringeblieben.de right now, this is a very good option because on the right side of your monitor you can chat with us at the same time. You can either log on via Facebook, or you can create an account, or you can just log on without an account, without giving anything away, anonymously, and then you can either take the username that was given to you or change the username. And it's very interesting for us to see some interaction, so that would be really great. Just one thing, the show is quite long, and if during the course of the show you need to get a drink, get a beer, get a wee or something, I'd suggest to not press pause but to leave it running, so we're always at the same time. You can then later rewatch the show or rewatch the parts you missed, because it will be on dringeblieben.de forever, and well, no, not forever, for a long time, but it will also be on YouTube and on Facebook in the next couple of days. So before we get to the first clip, this is a support show, which means you can watch it for free, but you can also buy a ticket if you want. I'll tell you a little bit about that later, but first, enjoy the show. If you've seen the English comedy show before, you will know what it's about. If you haven't, let me take you through it. It's a stand-up comedy club, and I'm usually the host, so in the beginning I do a little bit of audience warm-up, I talk to the people, and sometimes I ask them where they're from. And well, there was this one instance where a guy didn't want to answer that question, so we take a little look there now. You know how Pavlov trained his dogs? You know, whenever they hear a sound, they get excited, and we're trying to do the same thing, but with human comedy audiences. So, wow, that was, your bladder is incredibly small. I mean, it's like 2 minutes and you already need to... Anyway, yeah, and then you get all excited and think like, oh my goodness, where am I? This must be great, this is amazing. And then I would tell you that it's amazing, and you go like, oh yeah, I thought it was amazing, it is amazing, and then you get even more excited. And then I would announce my own name, and you would think like, oh my goodness, Helene Fischer, and you know, Angela Merkel, oh my goodness, and then I would say Manuel Wolf, and you won't care, you would say, okay, I'll take that, but still get excited, and then we all have smiles on our faces, and then if we pretend it's a great show, we will also believe it's a great show. Alright, and if that doesn't work, we have to do it a third time, and you wouldn't want that. No. But you're still sitting like this. Are you German? No? Where are you from? You don't know? No. He's trying to be more funny than the host, so it must be German. Nee. Why? What, you know where you're from. Yes, you do. You just don't know what to say. Why not want to say? Oh, must be American then. Are you from New Zealand? There are 200 countries in the world. It will be a very long show. The country you're from, does it start with the letter B? No. Oh, you know what? Nobody cares where you're from. Do you want to know where he's from? Don't say yes. Okay. What was that?
There's always
You want to know where he's from?
There's always one
Why?
crowd.
Is it? Is it though? Where are you from then? Spain. See, that is okay. I didn't want to say like Spain is okay compared to other countries. Not okay. I want to say it's okay that you gave an answer. Say anything will be okay. I meant is Spain is better than I don't know. Yeah. But would you what answer would you accept from him? Would you? I mean, why do you want to know the continent? Oh yeah, go ahead. You know the continents?
North America.
North America, how's that? He is from North America, he says. He said I don't know. He said, I don't know what he said. He was very ashamed.
Could be Canada.
It could be Canada. Actually, all USians are from Canada currently. What, Canada? Alaska is United States. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like no. I'm telling you, it is. It's like Catalonia in Spain. Yeah, world peace. Yes.
Used to be Russia, right?
So at the end of the show, I usually say, hey, I usually do a little bit where I say that the city of Cologne doesn't allow us just to be funny, but also has to make sure that everybody of us learns something. So the so-called Bildungsauftrag. So I summarize what we learned today. And of course, at that show, I had to include the part where the guy from the United States of America didn't want to say where he was from. So take a little look. Take a little look. Take a little look. It's getting late. Let's see. Okay. When North Americans get asked where they are from, they say, I don't know. Because they don't know. That's not what I wrote down. That's the better version. I just thought. Okay, let me try again.
I'm trying to figure out why you didn't eat your shoe was untied.
Say again?
I'm trying to figure out why your shoe was untied.
You're still trying to figure out why my
We're
shoe.
trying to figure out why.
Why? Because a desperate German single guy stepped on my foot trying to reach a French woman.
Were you in the way? You tried to get to the
No, I didn't also try to get to the French woman. I was in the way to protect her.
Oh, right.
And then she hit me.
Smart girl.
Let me try again. When North Americans get asked where they're from, they say, I don't know, because they learned in school when a German asks where you're from, don't answer truthfully. Lie. This was Yuri's second performance in English, and he asked us to lower our expectations. That was not necessary, because we saw his first English performance, so our expectations were already low. Finally, it's time for our first act, but first I want to talk a little bit about money. Money. The most important thing is, if you don't have any money, please by all means don't give us any money. Just enjoy the show. That's a big part of the philosophy. If you don't have any money, we think you still have a right for good entertainment, and to have a laugh and feel joy. Which also means that at our live shows, the same thing. The price of the tickets is there, but if you really can't afford it, just write us and we will let you in for free. All you have to do is tell us in advance, because if the shows are sold out, of course there are is no more room or anything. So basically what goes for the real shows is here the same. Just enjoy the show if you don't have any money to support. But it also means if you have money to support, you have to give all this money to me. Well, or at least some money. If you're watching at dringeblieben.de, you can buy support tickets from any range of tickets, just a small ticket, just a few bucks, till and you can also buy the large package and just rid us of all our sorrows and support English comedy forever. You can also go to ko-fi.com English Comedy Night, ko-fi.com English Comedy Night, ko and then like the little slash, fi.com English Comedy Night, just to buy us a coffee, which is like €3. And if you're on dringeblieben.de, you can buy the support tickets, you can buy them now, you can have bought them already, you can buy them after the show, whenever you want. But please really just, if you don't have any money, just really just enjoy the show, just have a laugh, just try to have some good fun with us. And now it's time for our first act. It's Nir Gottlieb.
Our next guy is from Israel, because we go through the countries in an alphabetical order. You know, that's the way we do the show here in Germany. Everything has to be in order. The first guy is from Germany, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, India, Israel. Oh, wait. No, I was just thinking, because the woman after the next guy is from Iceland, and Iceland is before Israel, so we made a mistake. We made a terrible mistake. We have to start from the beginning. Martin, come back on stage. No! Alright, now our next guy is from Israel. I'm very happy that he's here, and his name is Nir.
That sucked, let's try it again. How are you guys doing, Cologne? Much better. I know what you guys are thinking, by the way. How the fuck is the penguin from the Batman movies alive in front of us? I know what you're thinking right there. Somebody that looks like that, in show business, wearing orange fucking Crocs. It's gotta be really funny and talented to be successful. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not successful. So let me introduce myself. My name is Nir. I'm 38. I am from Israel. No applause for that. No. I don't want your applause for that. I'm just using this opportunity to scan the audience to see if anybody wants to stab me. And by the way, people in the front, you guys are so fucking lucky, because this guy, this contingent of people right there, this is what they're gonna see for the rest of my set. So I think they deserve a round of applause. So like I said, I'm from Israel, and I'm a fat, balding Israeli Jew. All the way from Israel, here in Cologne, doing comedy in front of you guys. You're welcome. Some of you might be wondering, why are you a fat, balding Israeli Jew all the way from Israel to Germany to do comedy, the land of humor? Excellent question. You have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, it was a business decision. I heard that for some odd reason, there's been a shortage of Jews here in Germany. The market was wide open. If you guys did not like this previous Holocaust joke, you're gonna have a long fucking 7 minutes. In addition to being fat and balding, I'm also short and hairy. A lot of my non-Jewish friends ask me, Nir, why are Jews always so short and hairy? I don't fucking know. Why are you asking me? Do I look like I'm the king of the goddamn Jews? You guys know what happened to the last guy they called king of the Jews? I'll give him a hint. You just celebrated a holiday about him, Easter. By the way, as a Jew, Easter confuses me. I don't understand much about it. As far as I can tell, 2,000 years ago, we killed Jesus, and now you have 2 days off. You're welcome. By the way, it's a little bit unfair. We Jews get a bad rap for killing Jesus. Oh, you Jews killed Jesus. You Jews. It's not true. It was a Roman guard that killed Jesus. By the way, that was the last known time in recorded history that an Italian had a fucking job. So I don't know why Jews are short and hairy. But I do have a theory. It's natural selection. See, the Jews that survived were short because we were the ones that could crawl under the fences. And the hair is for camouflage. And to survive the winters in the forest of Poland. Now I live in Berlin, and this is the part of my set that most people who listen to me realize that I am having a very hard time finding a date. Because this, ladies and gentlemen, is what I do for fun. And every time I meet a lovely German woman, she says, "Hey, Neil, what do you do for fun?" And I say, "I do comedy for fun." And she says, "Wunderbar! Ich liebe comedy! Can I come see one of your shows?" Absolutely not. I don't know if you guys know this, but to an average German woman, Holocaust jokes, not so sexy. If she does find them sexy, probably shouldn't be dating her. One German woman did go on a date with me once. I'm not entirely sure why. I think it was a misunderstanding and miscommunication. You see, her grandparent told her that all Jews are supposed to be hung like black people. You're gonna get that joke later. So in my despair, I have to turn to Tinder. Do we have Tinder users in the audience tonight?
Yeah.
Liars, there's more. Problem with that is I don't have what you might call a Tinderable face. By the way, Tinder fascinates me. Tinder fascinates me as a software application because men and women use the application differently. It's a real case of gender disparity in terms of how people use the application. You see, women use Tinder and make collective decisions. They all gather around the phone like it's a fucking campfire, basking in its glow, and decide together. Oh, this guy is too short, swipe left. Ooh, he likes horses, swipe right. I don't know about you guys. I don't even wait for the fucking pictures to load. I just swipe right, that was a dude. Swipe right, until I'm either out of swipes or I'm done taking my shit. I cannot be the only person that Tinder's on the toilet. Who here Tinder's on the toilet? Give me a whoop.
I used to.
Bullshit! I am not ashamed to admit to Tindering on the toilet, okay? I'm a busy man. I've got shit to do. But here's the thing. It suddenly struck me. Hasn't happened so far because of the aforementioned facial handicap, but what if it works? What if I meet the love of my life while taking a shit? What do I tell our kids? Mommy, Daddy, how did you guys meet? Well, children, gather around and let Daddy tell you a story. You see, I had been drinking Guinness until 4:30 in the morning with my friends and then decided to get a late night dinner. Consequently, the next morning, my morning ritual was a little more challenging than usual. So I got to sitting, and I got to swiping, and I got to matching, and I got to chatting, and I talked with your mom, and by the time I was done flushing, I knew she was the one. Just think, little Timmy, if I hadn't ordered that dinner extra shelf, you might never have been born. And then there's OkCupid. Are you familiar with OkCupid?
Yes.
Now, some people are familiar. OkCupid is where the freaks and the geeks unite, by the way. And Berlin has plenty of both. The problem with OkCupid in Berlin is that everybody in OkCupid in Berlin is poly-kinky, whatever the fuck. Just once I want to go out with a girl from OkCupid in Germany that doesn't want me to choke her during sex. As I never know if I'm that good that I woke up the bad girl within, or if I'm that bad that she just wants me to end her suffering. Seriously, every profile I see on OkCupid now starts the same way. I'm a genderqueer, polyamorous, sapiosexual, kink-friendly, sex-positive, postmodern, intersectional feminist that believes in gender equality and social justice. My profile, however, says something different. It says, I'm a misogynistic, transphobic, homophobic, vanilla, cis-heteronormative white male that believes in traditional gender roles and in women making me a sandwich. Still single. So I'm starting to run out of time, I believe. Are you guys happy for Easter, by the way? Did you guys have a good Easter? It's nice to have it finally spring, right? Sun's out, everybody going out to parks, getting a tan. I'm the same way, like I said, I'm Israeli, and as an Israeli, I'm like a reverse vampire. If I don't get enough sun, I die. So spring came around, and I decided to go get a tan, and I went to a park nearby my house on the grass, and I laid down a towel, and I sat down on the towel, and I took off my shirt to get a tan, and the minute I took off my shirt, a baby nearby started crying. So what's the matter, baby? Oh wait, am I 1 minute 30's over? Okay, I'm done, guys. I'm promoting the show.
Finish the story. I want to hear the story.
Oh, he wants to hear the promo. So what's the matter, baby? You've never seen tits before? Sure, mine a little hairier and don't give out food, but it's the same fucking principle. But the thing I like most about springtime in Germany is Spargelzeit. Are you guys fans of Spargelzeit? For those who don't know, Spargelzeit literally means the season of the Spargel. And Spargel means asparagus. And you Germans go fucking apeshit for asparagus. There is no sin worse in German culture than not liking asparagus. Except for maybe being a Jew. But the thing that I find fascinating about Spargelzeit is that Germans don't like any asparagus. They like a very specific type of asparagus. You may have noticed there's green asparagus. Germans don't like green asparagus. There's violet asparagus. Germans don't care for the violet asparagus. They only like the white asparagus, which they serve with a white sauce. And then you go to the store and you look at the packages and you're going to notice something else. They're all identical fucking pieces of asparagus. They're all consistent in length, consistent in girth, consistent in the exact fucking same shade of white. Like uniformed soldiers marching eastwards. Like they take the weak and the diseased Spargel, they don't fit in, and they throw them out so they don't breed, trying to create a genetically pure race of Master Spargel. Ein Reich, ein Volk, ein Spargel. Spargel, Spargel, über alles. Guys, that's been my time for running the show. Please take a sticker. Give it to your host.
Nir so far can wrap his penis around Martin Menneke's biceps.
Sure.
That was Nir Gottlieb, and we have great comedians coming up. We have Ina Fagerlund from Finland, Amy Curley from the United States, and our headline act tonight is Ado Berger, a great big friend of mine from Amsterdam. I got to know him in Luxembourg, and since then I performed at his shows, he performed at my shows, and he's really, really funny. But first, if you're watching the chat, or if you're watching later on YouTube, write in the comments which comedians you would like to see on our stage when we open again after this crisis is over, if ever. And that would be some fun. And now you will see a clip of me again, some kind of trouble I had when shaving. Just a little something I noticed.
Do any guys of you shave like irregularly? Is that a word? Irregularly? It's
Or different times.
I mean, oh, okay. Why would it be irregular? No, okay. Can you accept what I mean? I don't know why I'm talking to you, because you obviously don't know how a shaver works. But anyway, what I meant is like, oh shit. That's what I meant. I meant, oh shit. No, I hate shaving, but I also don't want to have a beard. So I only shave like when my facial hair is like that. Yeah, like every 8 months. I shave it all off. Yeah. So, but how do you Shave. Where do you start? When you shave, where do you start? Basically here. You start with the left cheek. Every man has done that. Then you start with the right cheek and then you go here because we all want to see how stupid it would look to have a mustache, right? Yeah. So I have this electric shaver, which I travel a lot, I'm in hotels a lot, I have this electric shaver, and of course I try how would it look with a mustache. But mustache! Schnurrbart! But of course we won't stop there because we want to see how it will continue, and then we start shaving here a little bit. We all have done it. Yes, and then here. We just want to see how it would look like. Well, so I'm in the hotel with the electric shaver with the batteries, and it goes like. And the battery is empty. And I've got a Hitler beard and no batteries. And no Steckdose. No charger, yeah. Yeah, so I'm standing in the hotel room, so what now? I also didn't have my hat, so it's
Our next act is from the United States of America, and a relatively new act. She moved to Germany and became really funny. Well, I guess she was funny before she moved to Germany. And she became a good friend of mine. Also a good friend of Andy Belver, who performed at the last virtual show we did. Now please welcome Amy Curley.
It's Amy Curley Moe!
So I'm the only female comedian performing tonight. I just want to address the stereotype about female comedians. I am not going to talk about my vagina. It's not for lack of trying though. I have been trying to come up with vagina jokes because I feel like there's this really big hole in the middle of my set. It's a bigger. As Manuel said, I am from America. No, that's the correct response nowadays, to be frank. And I do that really annoying thing that Americans do that Europeans hate. But rather than telling you what country I'm from, I tell you what state I'm from. But I do it for a very good reason, because I am from California! Yeah. But I'm not from the part you're cheering for. I'm from the part where they ride around on tractors with guns. And unfortunately, being from California means that I have this very stereotypical California accent. And that means that I sound like an idiot 13-year-old girl. It really gets me in trouble because people don't take me seriously. Like at work. Our topic today is increasing European regulation affecting offshore financial markets. In bed. Oh my god. That's hot. At the doctor. Is this supposed to hurt this much? Oh wait, that's also in bed. And of course, people make fun of me about my accent a lot. I was with a friend of mine at Starbucks. Obviously, where else would I be? And she was making fun of me. She was like, oh my god, Amy, if gluten-free avocado toast could talk, it would sound just like you. And this British lady behind us chimes in and she goes, ugh! Americans, that horrible fashion. That horrible accent. This is my British accent, by the way. That horrible accent. No wonder there are so many shooting sprees in America. So I turned around and I was like, look, lady! The correct term is mass shootings. British people always fucking up the English language. So I lived in Germany for a while. I lived here during high school. I went to high school in Oberhausen. Yeah. So I speak Ruhrpott with a California accent. Was soll die Scheiße? And I do a German accent that my friends tell me sounds super porno. Yeah. Literally, no matter what I say. Do you want a piece of my apple strudel?
Yes.
It is really interesting to live in Germany. You really have to get used to how direct Germans are. Like Americans, we sugarcoat everything. We don't take criticism that well. So I was talking to a German guy the other day, and I was like, oh, hey, do you like my glasses? And he was like, you're fat, you're drinking too much couch. Oh, that's what I asked. Did anybody use the Face app? Last year, there was this app where you could put a picture in and it showed you what you looked like in 30 minutes, yeah? Alright, well, I did it, and my husband's like, whoa, you look exactly like your mom. That's hot. I was like, excuse me, I mean, I want my husband to like my mom, but I don't want him to like my mom. So I posted this picture online. I got more likes than I've ever gotten for any other picture. Like dudes were sliding into my DMs. I was like, holy shit, is my mom a MILF? Because before that, I'd literally only ever received one dick pic. Yeah, I guess. I don't know if I should be spread or not. And it was immediately followed by a text that said, ew, sorry, totally not meant for you. Yeah, apparently my husband meant to send it to my mom. I went to Mexico earlier this year. Did somebody say they were from Mexico? Oh my god. Yeah? Cool, hello. That's a nice sign. Hello, ¿cómo estás? So I was with some girlfriends of mine in Mexico. We went out to a club and we were dancing. Out of nowhere, somebody came up to me and was like, are you Rebecca? And I said, no, but I'm thirsty. And then again, are you Rebecca? And I said, no, but maybe I should be. And then again, are you Rebecca? But this time I was irritated. I was like, why does everybody keep asking me if I'm Rebecca? I'm not Rebecca. And the guy was like, somebody named Rebecca left her credit card at the bar. You're the only chick in here who looks like a Becky. And I said, oh shit. Is this what racial profiling feels like? What else do I have for you guys? Okay, so I know it's probably hard to believe, but because I'm up here on stage, but for most of my life, I've suffered from cripplingly low self-esteem. Like, I never even once got asked to a high school dance. And then I met black dudes. And out of nowhere, I started hearing things like, damn, girl, looking good. Yeah, that's when I met R. Kelly. And it got better. The more I traveled, the older I got, I started having a lot of success. I went to India. I felt like a fucking celebrity. everybody was taking pictures of me. And I was talking to a girlfriend of mine about it. She's like, Amy, you know that porn is illegal in India, right? They're gonna go home and masturbate to your picture. So now I'm a porn star in India. You can follow me on Instagram at the Bangalore Becky. Alright, I'm gonna leave you guys with this one. I have a favorite song. Does anybody else have a favorite song? Yeah. Super uplifting song. No matter what mood I'm in, no matter how I'm feeling, I listen to this song, instantly lightens my mood. And that song is Jackson 5 ABC. So the other day I was in the shower, and I'm rocking out ABC. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. And my husband yells from the other room, Amy, we're not allowed to listen to Michael Jackson anymore! And I was like, no, it's okay. This is from when he was the prey, not the predator. My name's Amy Curley. That's my time.
That was Amy Curley, and still there's way more to come. And once again, if you have the possibility to support us, you can buy a support ticket or find other ways of supporting us. If you don't have the ability or the money to support us, just enjoy the show. But if you are able to support us, realize that producing an English comedy night, international comedy night, costs about €2,000. We can reach that with our live shows. When we have full house, thank goodness we almost always had full house, but there are lots of costs. The comedians need to get paid, the travel costs are immense, and it is way more important to produce a show with 5 people from all around the world than just to produce a show with 5 people from Cologne. So it is really difficult not being able to do our job, even though we would like to do our job. So if you can buy a support ticket, please do. If you can, that's okay. Just maybe support us a little bit in the internet, in social media. Just go on Google, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Find us, English Comedy Night Cologne, Boeing Comedy Club, or Manuel Wolf with 2F. And just leave a few comments and remarks, or just write me. I really like to hear from you guys. Just, I don't know, let's chat about anything. Now the clip is just a little bit of fun I had on stage, crowd working, and then we get to our next act.
Okay. Let's see. We need to learn a bit more about the audience, of course. We have the first row here, sitting in the very expensive seats. Usually the first row is very hard to fill because they always say, when I don't want to sit in the first row because when I sit in the first row, the host will ask me something and make fun of me and stuff. And that is not true. We always ask the second row. So, what's going on there? Oh wait, no, the second row is consisting of a performer who will be on stage later on, and his girlfriend, I guess, and who else? You don't know? I don't speak English. Huh? Are you also with Shay?
No. Are you polygamous?
No, what? Oh, shit. I don't know, actually.
You are Shay, right? No, you are Shay.
Yeah, I'm Shay.
You are Shay. Does she know you?
She asked if I was a polygamist, and I don't know yet. But no, I do not know. Oh, you did not ask that?
I asked the lady if she knows Shay, and she turns to the guy and asks him, "Are you a polygamist?" Does that mean I might know Shay? I have to check. If it's the polygamist Shay, I know him. But he was wearing a mask, so I...
She looks familiar.
Yeah, I saw your website.
On a website. On what web? On polygamistanonymous.com? You know why it says anonymous. Okay. Okay, what about the nice lady on the sitting at the wall?
Also with me.
Oh, that's why she's also with you. That's why you're a polygamist. Jeez, I have see that wasn't okay. I have to ask the first row now because the second row is just useless. Hi, where are you from? You're from Germany. Hi. Why did you come to the English show? Your friend forced you. Is he here or did he stay at home? You're also a Shay. Is there any woman in the building who is not with Shay? Are you also a Shay? No? Okay.
She will be.
She will be. Shay, are you a professional comedian? Or how do you do it?
I'm a professional polygamist.
You went to polygamy school? Where is that school? In Utah? Oh, let's continue with our show. Our next artist is from Iceland, so she knows a lot about polygamy. That even doesn't make any sense. And you were laughing because it was funny in a way, but they were going like, that doesn't make any sense. Why do the most serious people sit here?
Our next act is from the happiest place on earth, Finland. Yeah, it's a young performer and her name is Ina Fagerlund.
Oh, thank you. Okay, let's do it, yeah. Thank you. Wow. Thank you.
Speechless?
Please stop. All right. Welcome back to the second, third, and I actually wanted to tell you the story about how we lost €2,000. But after all these shenanigans, there's not enough time! You know what? I will tell you next month. No, next month there's an open stage. It's not a farm. No, but actually, thanks for reminding me. August 7th, next month, we already did it once. We did this show as an open stage where anybody who wanted to perform could perform, and it was a show with mixed quality. But people enjoyed the very good surprises and also enjoyed the very bad acts in between. Some of the stuff was so bad it was actually good. And yeah, so we're doing that again on August 7th, and that also gives me. I probably have enough time on August 7th to tell you the story then, because it's not a particularly good story. So why not tell it on open stage, on the open mic? Yeah. Yeah. also, it's way cheaper to go to the show on August 7th because, well, yeah, because there's no guarantee of good acts. I'm not sure about the host of the show, though. That's Manuel Wolf. Anyway, so now it's time for the second part. I liked the second part a lot because it has it has 3 short acts, and Nico, can you come? Nico, can you come here like you just did? Nico, I have to introduce you to the crowd because you're the. That is Nico. Nico is our new barkeeper. And I just got confused because he just came out of the corner with the toilet, and he had both hands full with empty glasses and bottles, and in his mouth, what's it called? He had toilet paper. He had a plastic bag. All right, okay, a plastic bag with toilet paper in his mouth. So let's say he's efficient. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Nico, see, usually we have Miri at the show, and if I would have done that with Miri, I would have been dead already. Anyway, 3 acts from 3 different countries. It's amazing. Our first act, it's Ina Fagerlund.
I would like to start off by saying that men are fucking assholes. Okay. Or at least they wish they were. And if there's someone in the audience who didn't quite get that, that joke was about anal sex. And talking about anal sex, as you can tell, I'm kind of naive. You don't believe me, I can tell. So yeah, I was already 21 years old when I found out that fucking from behind didn't automatically mean anal sex. And I don't know why I thought that, because it's also called doggy style. So, how do dogs reproduce if they're really butt stuff? Or has anyone seen dogs in missionary position? Me neither. But talking about dogs, I think how you get along with children and dogs tells a lot about your character, what kind of person you are. For example, my boyfriend tells me about his dog, like, oh, he was such a good dog, he could really see into the soul of someone, and I should have known that my ex-girlfriend was a bitch because my dog never liked her. And all I could think was, well, I'm glad that dog's dead. Yay, applause for a dead dog. No, don't get me wrong, I like dogs, but I just don't know how to act around them. Like my friends, they have 3 dogs, and every time I go visit them, I'm just like, hello, good sir. I'm like, what is this? And my friends are just like what's wrong with you? Like, why don't you just pet the dog? Like, don't you like our dogs? And the thing is, if it were a child, no one would tell me like, oh, don't you like my kid? Why won't you touch my kid? But I don't know, I'm bad with dogs and kids, so I don't know. But I also do have experience of being bad, like not good with children. Because my mom's an elementary school teacher, and I used to substitute for her. And it was like the last week of the semester, so we just basically watched films and played games. And it sounds fun, right? No. You know, playing games, there was like so much crying, so much screaming, so much flipping the tables. But like, what can I say? I hate losing. Like, fuck those kids. But yeah, as I mentioned, I do have a boyfriend, and I'm very glad I have a boyfriend. Because dating sucks. It was so awkward going on these dates, and there'd be a guy, and you try to be as charming and as funny as you can be, but you just get this blank stare. You know, trying to tell jokes, and they're just like... And I thought that, okay, they just probably don't get it that I'm joking. So my solution to this problem was, hold on, here's an example of a situation like that. So I read in the newspaper that Kristen Stewart is in a lesbian relationship with a woman. Well, I think it would be weirder if she was in a lesbian relationship with a man. Boom-ch. Yeah. And I wish I could say that that's where it ended, but no. Yeah, that escalated a bit. I'll show you. So yeah, I think it would be weirder if she was in a lesbian relationship with a man. Boom, 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 boom. That is a true story. But the positive side of that was that if the guy still wanted to meet me afterwards, I would just say, "You're fucking weird, never call me again." Thanks.
Ina Fagerlund.
Hey, I found something in the archives of our shows. It's going back a few years. We haven't been around for so long. But it's a story I told because it's something I found in the news, and I thought this is really too good of a true story to change it in any way. Just retell the story that happened in the news because it's so absurd. I don't know how... It's just amazing, the story, so I thought I had to share it with the audience, and I now think I have to share it with you, so please enjoy the poop.
Yeah, was a fun holiday. Hey, before we start with our terribly good artists from all over the world, I saw something in the news today, and I have to say, sometimes the news is better than comedy. Sometimes the news is shit, sometimes the news is better than comedy, and you can make up jokes which are so good. And in this case, it's both. It's shit and it's very good. I've got the newspaper report here. There was this guy from Bristol, right? That sounds like Limerick. There was this guy from Bristol who shot himself with a pistol. No, who met a woman on Tinder. You heard about that story? Yeah. Because he went on a date with her, and after the date they met for dinner in a restaurant, and they had some beer, and then he invited her back home. You all know the story already? Okay, so our first... No, he invited her back home to his apartment to drink some wine, because that's what you do on your first Tinder date, right? But then the woman had to use his toilet, and it went downhill from there. So she took a dump on the toilet, and then she came back from the toilet with a panicked look on her face, and she told the guy, here's what happened. The flush didn't work properly, and so she was too embarrassed to let her load there. So she took it and wanted to throw it out of the window in the garden. But it didn't land in the garden. There was a ledge between two windows and it landed there. She couldn't reach. Because she couldn't reach it because the window only opened at the top, slightly at the top. So you can imagine, she had to go outside and say, "Hello, my first Tinder date. There is something I have to tell you." I mean, just imagine. Now, the guy said, "Okay, I'll get a hammer and break the window so we can get rid of your shit." It's a true story. So, now the girl then said, no, don't break the window, it's expensive. I'm a former gymnast. Maybe I can climb somehow in there, if you give me a lift. So she went over the top of the window and she went fishing for her shit, but she got stuck. And he couldn't get her out again, and after 15 minutes, with her head in poo, they called the fire brigade. How do you call the fire brigade in that case? What do you say? My Tinder date is stuck in shit. So the fire brigade came, and of course they took a hammer and broke the window. And somehow got her out. And then they went on a second date. I mean, isn't that the best woman in the world? I mean, the best guy? Yeah, well, no. You've got a photo of the girl sitting. Okay. Right. Okay, hold on. I'm not stealing your mobile phone, I'm coming back. Can I somehow, oh dear. That was a bad idea. Okay, take a look at the monitor. Did you see it? No, you didn't.
Screen's off.
Oh. Right, there's a message for you. Okay. In any case, someone wants to see a picture of a girl hanging upside down in a toilet. Talk to the girl from Chicago.
So finally it's time for our headline act, but first, once again, let me tell you that I don't know when we're going to do the virtual show again. I don't know when we will have live shows again. I just hope you keep your eyes open and research English Comedy Night, Cologne, Boing Comedy Club, Manuel Wolf with 2F, and we'll see what happens. Also support us if you can. If you can't, it's totally okay. By all means, just enjoy the show. But if you have a few euros to spare, choose the ways you can support us by buying a ticket here or go to boingcomedy.de to find the German ways of supporting us, or go to kofi.com/English Comedy Night. The links are also in the description. Please write me at all times if there is anything you want to say or anything you want to hear, and talk to me in the chat, and rewatch the show, show it to friends. And now it's time for a headline act. It's Edo Berger from Amsterdam. He's very, very funny. He's extremely funny. He's extremely good looking. He is very sexy. He's everything a Dutch person claims to be: tall, smart, witty, relaxed, superior, everything a German would want to be. And I met him at the Luxembourg Comedy Festival where we both performed. I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's where I met him. And then I started to invite him to my shows, and he invited me to his shows in Amsterdam. And we always had lots of fun. He was supposed to be here in April, but it of course didn't happen, so that's very, very sad. And he's one of my favorite people in the world, and I really hope you will enjoy his headline act now.
Here, give it one nice warm of applause for Edo Berger!
Cologne? It's good to be back. Thank you, Manuel, for that wonderful, enthusiastic announcement. I love getting put on like that. I love because you're a comedian and you're standing there and you're about to go on and you're nervous, and then suddenly you hear someone go, "Hey, go back," and you go, "No." Yeah. In all honesty, turns me on a little bit. Yes. Which is why I have now started announcing myself before sex. Yes. That's a tip. That's a tip. Just before I'm about to go on, I leave the room. I leave the room. I leave the room, and I stand just outside the room and go, "Here he is. He's a young up-and-comer. He's going to try some new material. He's going to do 5 to 7 minutes for you. Give him a warm hand. Give it up for Edo Berger. Yes, see? Yeah. Give it up for Edo Berger. And indeed, ever since, a lot of women have given up. I am currently exploring my gay side because I would find it hilarious to hook up with a guy called Mike and then announce myself and go, "Here he is, it's open mic night." A good joke is worth confusing your sexuality. I feel, yeah. So it's good to be back in Cologne, the only city named after a smell. Not a lot of people know that. Lucky, you could have been called patchouli. That's good. I like Cologne. It's like, I'm from Amsterdam. Cologne, Amsterdam, about the same size. I think Cologne's a bit bigger, slightly less touristy than Amsterdam, which is good. Although you get your fair share of British stag parties here, don't you? British stag parties. The parties that make you wish chlamydia was lethal, right? Oh, God. If we had British stag parties patrol the European border, Putin would be scared shitless. They will fuck anything. Pass away. No, it's good. It's good. It's like there's things to see, and there's a bit of tourism, but not too much, which is nice. Like I used to be a tour guide in Amsterdam, and I've seen shit. Like really, I've had this tour. I've had an American guy come up to me before the tour. It was on a canal boat, and he goes, "Can I ask you something?" Go show. "Why do your traffic lights beep?" Because we have these ticking traffic lights, in the Netherlands. So I say, "Well, sir, that is to help the blind." And he seriously says, "That is amazing." He says, "In my country, blind people aren't even allowed to drive." And that's the state of the planet. We're screwed. Totally screwed. I once had an American group on the boat. They'd rented off the whole boat, and they were doing the classic American tour of Europe. See all of Europe. In 3 days. Tour. You know the tour. It was right rushing through Europe. He's going, Mark, where are we now? I don't know. Keep taking pictures. Look over this later. And so they're on the boat, and one of these guys is telling me about their journey, and they started in Paris. They landed in Paris on Charles de Gaulle Airport. Now, right next to one of the runways of Charles de Gaulle Airport is a castle. Because it's France. Right? We've all been to France. In France, it's castles everywhere. In France, if you spit out of a moving train, there's a 50% chance you'll hit a castle. Right? French people get very annoyed when you do, which is why you should. And, yeah. What is better than to have like a French guy angrily with a baguette coming up and going, "Ouh là là, c'est quoi la poule à pièce, which is one word in French. And not a lot of people know that. So there's that. I mean, and you shouldn't make too much fun out of tourists, because the thing is, you know, tourists it's a state of being. Like in our own respective countries, we're all, you know, well-thinking people, you know, relatively smart, intelligent, and then you cross a border and something happens. You're in another country and your IQ goes down 17 points, and suddenly you're standing in the way, and you don't know where the entrance is. It's no un poco. Is it, where's the ticket? Is it yes, a special price for me? Really? No, it's something happens to you. It's a thing. It's hard being a tourist. It's especially hard being a Dutch tourist. No, really, because like, if you're Dutch and you go to another country, everywhere in the world, people have to talk to you about the weed. It's in your laws, or all the other countries, you've all come together, you know, made an agreement. See, Dutch, ask him about the weed. I've had this conversation so many times. I was at a party in New York, and a Dutch guy, no, sorry, a party in New York, an American guy comes up and he goes, "Hey man, I hear you're from Holland." I'm like, yeah, I'm from Amsterdam. He goes, "Have you got any pot on you?" I flew here on an airplane. You do realize that, you know? I had to take off my shoes to get into this country. Really? I'm Dutch. I land at JFK Airport in New York. I show my Dutch passport. My Dutch passport just screams, "Bend over and cough." Yeah, hold on. I'll just do the finger for this section, just so you can get the full experience. Yeah, I'm Dutch. These days I travel with my own personal rubber gloves. That's so be on the safe side. And you're thinking I'm saying this, guys, and you think that I would bring marijuana into this country? Yes. How much do you need? Yes. It's our national export, isn't it? I have to do something. Everybody has to talk to you. Dutch weed is so famous. Dutch weed is so strong now. We've experimented with it for so long. It's so strong now. Foreigners, you people, you get high talking about it. Just mentioning the Dutch weed. I was on a train in Ukraine once, and they were talking to a Russian guy who studied the violin at Moscow Conservatory. This was one of the most highbrow conversations I've had in my life. We're discussing politics and current events and philosophy and economy. And somebody goes, so where are you from? You're English, right? And I go, no, I'm Dutch. And he goes, I'm smoky. You mention the weed and people's brains come out of their ears. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. And so that's the way that we're perceived. Then there's the way it's the way you see yourself as a country. Now, we Dutch people, we see ourselves as we're very proud of being honest, very straightforward, honest people. You know, if you could say it, we could say it. You know, we will ride into a porcelain shop on an elephant just going, "Honesty! You fucking say everything you can say." I was on a train once in the Netherlands in between Amsterdam and Utrecht. Now there's a stretch of railway that goes very close to a large commercial canal. There's a train, it's like 2 meters, boom, big canal. In the four-seater next to me were four guys, three Dutch guys and one African guy. I don't know where he was from in Africa, but he was African. I think he was visiting. And they're sitting there in silence. And at some point, the Dutch guy sitting next to the African guy gives him a poke, points out the window and says, "Look at that, eh? In your country they don't have enough water, here we have too much." I left the train at that point. It wasn't even stopping, I was like, fuck, no! Jesus! You shouldn't say everything that comes into your mind. I mean, I would have loved to have seen the rest of that visit. Wouldn't you have loved to have seen the rest of that visit? You know, when they get to the Dutch guy's house, where the African guy is staying, and he's showing him the house. It's like a nice, you know, average Dutch house, a nice Dutch average neighborhood. And so here, this is your room. Look, you have your own little bathroom, and up there you have a little television, so you can sit in the bed and watch it. Yes, it's funny. We have a television in the guest room downstairs, in the kitchen. We also have a little television. You can be cooking, and the television, and in the living room, big television, big plasma screen. It's funny. Look at that. Eh? Here in Holland, you have a lot of televisions, and your country is usually on television. His kids are playing with like toy cars and toy soldiers and it's funny, look at that, eh? It's funny, here in Holland you have a lot of children playing with toy soldiers. In your country, a lot of child soldiers, no toys. It gets worse, by the way, it gets worse. Hang on to your seat, we're not starting. Okay. So there's that, we're very straightforward, and we're very much into that we're very tolerant, yes. Yes, here in the Netherlands, we're very tolerant. Yes, super tolerant. Yes. Yes, very tolerant. And we love explaining the country. There's a verb for that, actually. It's Dutch explaining. We love explaining the country to random strangers. So in Holland, we have 2 chambers of parliament. Yes, but we have 2 chambers of parliament, but the first chamber is actually the second chamber. It's funny. What? Because we think everything is unique about the country, and everything is remarkable. And we have a king, but the king does not have a lot of power. But the king does have a bit of power. Then we have the elections, because when we have the elections, then the king gets to talk to the informer, you know, so they like Dutch people always tell foreigners that every conversation have a Dutch person will at some point involve the sentence, in Holland we have a saying, because we believe we're the only country with sayings, basically. We think that's a Dutch thing. So, and we think it's all unique. You know, like, so in Holland we have a saying, if you're standing somewhere in the way and someone comes on the bicycle, you say, look out! And of course, very proud of tolerance. Yes, we're very tolerant people. Always have been super tolerant. Always, throughout history, very tolerant. Which of course is bullshit. Like we were not tolerant throughout history. But that's nationalism. You think you have a characteristic for your country, and it's the same throughout history. Because we were not tolerant. Like in our golden age, which was the 17th century, you know, when our Dutch ships were sailing the world. You know, tolerance is not the same as, oh, we don't care to who we sell slaves. It's not the same thing. Right? It's a difference, a very subtle difference there. Yeah. But seriously, Dutch people believe that we, throughout the ages, magically have been tolerant, you know? Like, for instance, I live in Amsterdam, of course, it's a very gay city. It's the Netherlands, first country where gay people could get married. But we've got a big gay pride parade on the canals every summer. On the Amsterdam canals, a lot of barges and techno music. Like, there are seriously Dutch people who believe that we had a gay pride parade in the 17th century. Yeah. Which we didn't, by the way, if you were wondering. For one thing, when we started out in the 17th century, in the Golden Age, we only had one canal, which is not enough room to accommodate all the 17th century gay guys on the barges and the ships on the canal. It would be just like a giant congestion Just nobody going anywhere on the shit. Everybody standing still. All these 17th century gay guys wearing nothing with like a loincloth and buttoned up in a big white Rembrandt collar. Hieronymus, yes, IJsbrand. Dost thou know why we are not moving anywhere? Me does not know IJsbrand. Me thinks it is because we have 2 little canals. Oh yes. By the way, they're literally doing because no electricity in the 17th century. Dost thou know why you're not going anywhere? We don't have enough canals yet. Maybe we should dig more canals. Yes. Dan komen we Herengracht. That's how it works. Thank you. Very happy I chose a shirt that shows all of my sweaty spots as best as possible. That's wonderful. Oh, say again? Turn around. Oh yes, there you go. Yes, yes. It's great. Like the weird uncle sitting in the chair next to, with the whiskey and like this. So, come to Uncle Grandfather. Have you been a good boy? Do you want to know what you're getting for Christmas? It's June. Doesn't matter. Come to Uncle Grandfather. If you want to know what reputation your nation has in another country, around the world, what you have to do is you have to look where your nation appears in people's sayings or idioms. Like for instance, there's a lot of English sayings with the word Dutch in it. There's a Dutch treat, which means when you think you're going out to dinner, you're being taken out to dinner, but you pay yourself. There was a cry of disappointment, like There's the what else is there? There's a going Dutch, which is basically the same thing. You split the bill. There is Dutch courage. So you get the Dutch oven. Yes, I'm getting to the Dutch oven. I'm working my way up to Dutch oven. You know why? Anyway, there's Dutch oven. There's the Dutch. Come there. There's Dutch courage, which means drinking in order to be able to do stupid shit that you tend to see in Russian dash cams. There's that. There's double Dutch. Double Dutch is both a form of rope skipping with 2 ropes and using both the pill and the condom. There's a lot of disappointed British stag parties coming out for double Dutch in Amsterdam. You'd think with our reputation for like liberal party goers that you'd think that double Dutch would mean something else, something like getting an abortion and a tattoo. At the same time, mother, no. I told you it got worse. So is that, and there is indeed the Dutch oven. Now, who here knows what a Dutch oven is? Yes, all the single men. Okay. A Dutch oven is when you're in bed with your partner and you break wind and you pull the blanket over both your head and your partner, forcibly trapping them in your wind. Yes, that is a Dutch oven. And you guys thought that you had invented the gas chamber. No. But do we get credit? No. Recently, a friend of mine who's Swedish posted a song on Facebook called Holländsk Patiënt, Dutch Patience. I was intrigued. I don't speak Swedish, but I'm Holländsk Patiënt. Looked it up. You know what Holländsk Patiënt, Dutch patience means to Swedish people? Masturbating in public. Which raises so many questions on so many levels. I mean, for one thing, before something becomes a saying in a language, you have to do that shit a bunch of times. That's not a 1, 2, 3 time thing. That takes perseverance. Secondly, what did we do? Was it Dutch nations is masturbating in public. What are like Dutch sailors in the 17th century, you know, sailing up to Stockholm, and they've been out in the seas for weeks, they haven't seen a woman in ages, and they approach the port and they see Swedish women on the docks, and they're like, oh, patience. Patience. Fuck it! 21 Scottish salutes across the valley. Pow, 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 pow. It's not fair. It's not fair. Also, that is what I would call a Dutch treat, but that's me. I did a gig in Moscow recently, and I was telling people this story. The Moscovians were looking at me, sort of they weren't quite getting the concept. So I said, well, okay, so, like, imagine, like, if you're Russian, now you have to look at where in other countries have a saying that involves a Russian. For instance, like, there's a lot of languages where they have the term Russian roulette, which comes from the game, you know, and you take a revolver, one bullet, you go, and you click, and you know, you might shoot someone in the face. Okay. So, and there's Russian sex à la russe, right? That's porn slang, which I don't know actually. No, I only read porn at the hairdressers. So, like, if you go to a porn site, like, Greek is like porn slang for anal. Russian apparently means that a man takes his erect penis and puts it in between a woman's breasts, and then she sort of goes, and it's basically, again, it's about shooting people in the face. And, but so, we Dutch people, we think we're very tolerant, we think we've always been like that, because that's how nationalism works, right? We think that that's how it works, but of course we don't. Like, values change over time. Like, you only have to go back in time a very brief period, and everybody's an absolute cunt, right? Yeah, it's true. Like, did you know Rembrandt? Rembrandt was a gigantic homophobe. Rembrandt thought that being gay was sinful, against nature, and to be punished with banishment or flogging. Do you know how we know that Rembrandt felt that way about gay people? Because he lived in the 17th century! So, explain. Yeah, that's how it works. But that's how it works, that we take up things, goes, yes, it makes us feel, it gives us comfort to feel that that's how it works. The weird thing is, if you go back further in history, at some point history always becomes history. I mean, there's all these discussions right now about statues and names of streets, and should they be removed, and is Friends a good show, and should that book be read? But at some point, if you go back far enough in time, nobody cares. Like, there's nobody standing at the pyramids going, don't go there, that was built by slaves. There's like, fuck it, I'm on a pyramid. There's nobody standing at the Parthenon in Athens going, don't go to the Parthenon. Because in ancient Greece, women weren't allowed to vote. It's like, fuck, I've paid for this. There's nobody standing at Machu Picchu in Peru saying, the Mayas need to apologize for the human sacrifices. The Mayas have to come down here and apologize for the human sacrifices, the terrible human sacrifices that took place here. Like what Mayas? Any Maya that's still around, have to get Maya the bee, has to come bring her black and yellow ass down here and apologize. It's a weird time we're living in, you know, this is the first time that the world is globalized. It's the first time in human history that it's necessary as a person to sort of know something about other cultures and understand it. It's not how it works. Like, we're all used to living in our little bubble, and we like the idea that things are fixed. We like the idea that some things are good, some things are bad, and things never change. Religion works the same way. Religion is, you take a couple of things, you go, this should be like this is always like that is holy, and it will never change, because it's a good feeling. But then times pass by, and then the rituals and the things that you've come up with and the rules become a bit weird, because the world around the religion changes. Like, for instance, if you're a good Orthodox Jew or a Muslim, then you have to bury your dead within 24 hours. That's something that they came up with before refrigerators. It's true, that was a hygienic measure. Like these days, you can shove grandmother in the fridge for 3 months if you want to. It's better if she's dead, but no, It's all of that stuff. There's, what is there else? There's, if you're Hindu, Hindus get off quite well. Because Hinduism is quite vague. Hindu is quite sort of, you do what you want to do. If you mess up, boom, reincarnation. Fine. Fine. Just get back in line and just, just go back. Yes! Wonderful! That's what I want to say. Thank you, come again. That's a very deep philosophical measure. I'm always happy when Indian people don't crucify you for that. There's a very sigh of enlightenment happening here. Roman Catholicism is pretty good because you can just go to confession. But the best example I think is of where religion gets very specific and time it gets weird is like if you're a good devout Muslim, then at some point you have to go to Mecca. Somewhere in your life you have to make the pilgrimage to Mecca. They came up with that when everybody was living around the corner from Mecca. Right? Like back then, you could just go honey, are you using the meal this weekend? Because me and the guys like to pop down to Mecca for some clubbing and some shopping and take 7 spins around the Holy Xbox. That was fine, but these days, of course, you can live on the other side of the world. You have to spend thousands of euros to make that holy pilgrimage. I think you should be able to update religion, like software. Bring out a patch once in a while. Sometimes like a little paperclip comes up and goes, it seems you're trying to pray. Can I help you with that? You have to update your faith. Okay, for instance, this is like, what is Mecca to Americans? What's the one place that every American... McDonald's. That's good. I was going to say when I have to go once in a life, but yeah, that's but what's the place you have to go to once in your life?
Disneyland.
Disneyland, of course. But of course, if you live like a fucked up kilometers away from Disneyland, it gets really expensive. So what the Americans did, Euro Disney. So I propose Euro Mecca. Like a nice theme park. Like in France or Germany, like centrally located where you can go, and there's like a guy when you come in, at the entrance, that guy in a Mohammed suit. You can give him a big hug. You can't take pictures, but you can give him a hug, and you can have like nice rides, like Mahad Mountain. It's the only roller coaster where you stay in one place and the roller coaster moves. That's a decent amount of intellectuals here tonight. I like that. That's good. If you get a stone, if you can hit an adulterous woman from 20 meters away, you're going to take him. I said it was going to get worse. It was going to get worse. Or the other version would be, instead of you have to do the whole pilgrimage, just have the whole Quran in DVD. That's good. Like the whole Quran in DVD. Like you could have little extras, blooper reels. You can have the director's cut, which is footage of the director being circumcised. So since we're all going to be dead in 20 minutes, let's move on to something fun. I think that pretty soon I'm going to be a dad.
No, don't worry.
That looks like a compliment, but it could go either way. Don't worry about that. I'm looking at you. No. There's no procreation happening there. And no, it's in the air. It's in the air somewhere because my parents have let it be known that they are ready. They have. And they haven't even said it to my face. My parents had dinner with friends of theirs the other day, and I saw those friends. I happened to see them a week later, and they were like, "We had dinner with your parents the other night. They're ready." What for? What are they ready for? Is it euthanasia? Is it euthanasia? The guy can dream. But because it annoys me. It annoys me because the thing is, my parents don't want me to have kids for me, for my happiness. They want me to have kids for them. Yes. My parents have ticked most of the boxes on the bucket list of their life, and now it is up to me to provide some entertainment. That is what's happening here. It's a weird phase. My parents, they're starting to get old. They're not really old yet. They're not hip break old or Alzheimer's or whatever. They're starting to get old. It's the weirdest phase. It's the small things that you notice. For instance, you notice that your parents don't get the definition anymore of what it means to be busy. There's a couple of people nodding, yeah, okay. Like, I'll give an example. Like, for instance, okay, what's a good example? So, like, I call my mother, no, my mother calls me. That's a realistic example. And my mother calls me and goes, so what have you been doing lately? I go, well, this and that. New project I'm working on with some friends, a lot of time in that, it's fun. Also, oh yeah, I took out the weird little half wall that we had in the kitchen, the very stupid wall, finally took it out, and then I just put in a whole new floor and painted while I was at it. Oh, Hans and Esther got married, and with friends we organized this whole like dance and song routine, which we rehearsed, a little video. Love work, it was really fun. I've started jogging again, and I'm planning a summer holiday. So yeah. How about you? My mother will then first go. That's an actual legitimate word amongst baby boomers. They go. They struggle with the baby boomer. They go 5 F's. They go. So he goes, well, Monday we had Hans and Connie in for dinner. On Tuesday we had someone over to finally fix this shower, so this week has been crazy. That's not busy. My parents' definition of being busy now is not dead. Super busy. With the breathing and the eating and the sleeping, and it's just 24 hours and it never stops. It's the small things that make you notice that your parents are starting to get old. Like they lose the art of conversation. You know that, like in the old days, I can have a decent conversation with my parents, and they're intelligent, funny people. These days, if I say something to my dad, in his head, I think there's a guy in like a blue archivist coat who trudges off to an archive, takes his time, opens a random drawer and just goes, yeah, we'll reply this, and just something. Random stuff comes out. It vaguely references what I said. Just barely. And there can be a 30-minute delay between me saying something and him saying something back. In the meanwhile, in our family, the conversational train has moved on a couple of stops. So now it's a quiz. You don't know what he's referring to. It's a quiz. It's a quiz usually themed so you think your parents were not racist. Because once they hit 60, it's done. You know, they get a bus pass, museum card, and they don't like brown people. I don't know what it is. They just become racist. And there's a delay. It's a quiz. I was having dinner with my parents and my sister at a restaurant. And my dad hasn't spoken in a while. He's looking down and he's going, And out of nowhere, he just looks at me and goes, I say we send them all back. What is your dad referring to? A, the asparagus. B, Syrians. Not a clue. It's terrible. They're starting to get old. They're not hip break old or Alzheimer's old. They are cassette tape old. They're cassette tape old. They still function perfectly. They just don't serve any purpose in society anymore. If you notice, I tend to say the wrong things. I always say the wrong things, either because I don't get the social contract, or because I'm just vague in my head. Like I once had a first aid course where they taught me how to do like CPR on a person, and there's a song that they tell you as your, say again? Is it Happy Birthday? That'll be really weird. Someone's just having a holiday going, Happy Birthday to you, Happy Birthday to you. You look like a monkey and your face is turning blue. Hey! No, the standard song that you get taught to do the rhythm, stay alive, yes! You have to do to the rhythm of staying alive. I know, it's good. You don't actually have to I just know that I'm going to mess that up. If ever it's necessary, I know that I'm going to be like, oh fuck, what was it again? What was it? Oh yeah, I remember. First I was afraid. I was terrified. I spent oh so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, that I was strong, and how to get along. Everybody, so now I'm back from outer space. I'm gonna mess that up. I always say the wrong things. I never see them coming. I had a date with a girl once. It was date 3 or 4 with this particular girl. And, don't worry. It was day 3 or 4 with this girl. We still hadn't done it yet. So statistically speaking, I was like, oh, this could be mine, you know. So I'm Dutch. I was super prepared. I had prepared funny anecdotes to tell, and interested questions, and something with emotions. You know, oh, so your father never was, you know, whatever. And we had a super fun night, super fun. At the end of the night, she goes home with me, and I'm like, yes, yeah. Go to my apartment, open the door, and what I had done is, just to make it festive, I had put up balloons, put up little snacks, you know, little cheese and sausage with Dutch flags in them, little playful little trail of confetti leading up to the bedroom. And up above the bed, I put one of those banners that you can buy that said, "Hooray! It's a girl!" Turns out that's the worst idea. Guys, you've been absolutely fabulous and amazing, and we love this night.
Okay, that was the show. I'm really glad you were here. Thank you for watching. You got a little glimpse of what we do, I hope. I just want to say again that it's really, really important to us with the English Comedy Night Cologne to create like a place, which we did once a month, where everybody can feel safe and express themselves, where people from all around the world sit in the audience or are on stage, and all walks of life, just making sure of one thing, that we all can get along together and have a good laugh, which is basically creating world peace. So I honestly really hope it will be possible again at some time in the future. In the meantime, hold on tight, stay safe, stay at home, keep healthy, and never give up hope. It will get better. So you can still support us if you want to. You can rewatch the show here or on YouTube or on Facebook later on, English Comedy Night Facebook. We're also on several meet-up groups, so maybe you want to go there if you're there. And I will leave you with a little audio clip, which you might want to hear or not, whatever. I'll just put it at the end of the show. It's a little audio clip of me performing last year in London, because I had the chance to go to London, and it was the best time of my life. 5 nights in a row I could perform 2 shows a night in several different comedy clubs, and it was so much fun. And one of the really good comedy clubs there is Angel Comedy. They also have many shows, and they also are struggling right now because of Corona. And I was on stage there, and at the end something happened with a lady in the audience, but I unfortunately only have the audio recording of that show. So either like enjoy it as a little fade out the next 10 minutes, or don't. But that was the show, and I hope to see you someday again soon on stage, and on real stage, or just write me. I'm getting a bit sad and teary now. I have tomorrow a show in Autokino, the car cinema. But I hope that we can have real shows. I want to hear your laughter and applause. I don't want to hear the cars honking. So let's work together to get through this and support us and let us support you. Bye bye.
Welcome to the stage, Manuel Wolf!
Vielen Dank, danke, das ist sehr nett von euch, dass ich endlich hier spielen. Sorry. As you can hear from my accent, I'm not really British, right? I am Australian. No, that's actually not true. I'm German. I'm a German comedian. We do exist. We have comedy shows there. We don't expect people to laugh there. We expect people to complain. Because that's what we do. I complained today because I actually came by train to London today. I live in Cologne, Germany, and the train went to Brussels. And of course, we were 15 minutes late, so I complained because I'm German. But it's weird. It's like hundreds of kilometers. Why do we complain for being 15 minutes late? There was still plenty of time to change the train. I was in Thailand. We have a different system of time, a different conscience about time. I was in Thailand once, and the train was supposed to be there at 7 a.m. in the morning, and at 11 a.m. it still was nowhere near. So I asked the conductor, "Excuse me, why is the train late?" And he said, because of slowness. Exactly. And then he sat down next to me and put his hand on my knee. They also have a different idea of customer service. So I came by Eurostar, you know the train, have you traveled Eurostar? It's still known as Eurostar, I think in the future it will be known as Train to Nowhere. That was okay, that was an okay joke, I made that one up today. Anyway, you guys are in a good mood, I'm actually not in a good mood. I feel bad all the time, I think I can't do anything right. Yeah, I'm also going to see a psychologist, and he said I have slight depressions, I can't even do that right. So, like about a year ago, I was on a date with a woman for the first time. Not like, I mean, it wasn't the first time I was on a date with a woman, it was the first time I was with a particular woman. But the next day I get a text message, "Hey, I'm back together with my ex." Yeah, it's a bit stupid, but for me it was like a déjà vu. Because the last 5 times I met a girl, the next day I get a message, "Hey, I'm back together with my ex." Sounds like a business model. If any of you guys here want to get back with their ex-girlfriend, yeah, talk to me after the show. I will meet her once, and on the next day, interested? Thought so. Yeah. It's not the first time I'm in London. I was in London last year with my mother. She turned 70 years old. And we went on a week's vacation to London. Now you're thinking, oh my goodness, what a great son. Bringing his mother 1 week vacation to London. It's not totally like that. She paid. But it was a very good vacation for me. No, for her. For me it was stress. And I don't know. Because you have to know about my mother, she speaks English, she knows English vocabulary. She knows that no is nein and ja is yes.
what she doesn't know is English manners, English etiquette, that you guys say yes, please, and no, thanks. Yes? So whenever she gets asked something which she doesn't want, she just says no! Which is so direct. I love it, but it's so German. Yeah? So, and you guys don't know how to handle that. We were in a cafe, and the nice young waiter, she ordered a cappuccino, and the nice young waiter with a chocolate shaker in his hand said, "Would you like some chocolate in your cappuccino?" She doesn't understand in that speed, "Would you like some chocolate in your cappuccino?" For her, it sounds like "Waka chocolate the baba." No idea. So she has to sort the letters in her head, and a 70-year-old woman with a crumply face, when she, to my mother, when she sorts the words in her head, she looks like this. So the waiter was kind of scared, took a step back, and very politely once again said, "Excuse me, would you like some chocolate on your cappuccino?" And in that moment, my mother understood and said, "No, no, 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 no!" Which to her meant, thank you that you're asking. That is very polite of you, but actually, no, I don't want chocolate on my cappuccino. I'm sorry, I'm very, very sorry. To him, it sounded like, "Are you crazy? Chocolate on the cappuccino? You must be totally missugared." So I told her she should maybe ask, "I beg your pardon," when she doesn't understand something. Yeah? "I beg your pardon." Which in full means, "I beg your pardon, I'm very sorry, I just didn't understand what you said. Would you please have the politeness to repeat what you just said? I'm sorry, I'm very, very sorry." Yeah? Or in Germany we say, "Hä?" Hä? So the next time she didn't understand something, she said, "I beg your pardon." Which means, "Excuse me, you stupid Brit! What did you just say?" So we were in a restaurant, and she saw something on the menu which she didn't know what it is, and she didn't know how to pronounce it. So I said, "Mom, I can ask." And she said, "Nein, nein, 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 ich spreche Englisch." And called the waitress and said, "I beg your pardon. I have one question. How would you spell this?" Spell this, pronounce this. So what the waitress thought was, "Oh my goodness, we made a spelling mistake in our menu, and the Germans noticed." And here she is, my mother. All right. The joy, yes. What the hell was that? What just happened?
They live in Germany, but neither one of them.
You live in Germany? Yeah? Where do you live in Germany? That's usually not a laughing matter. Usually people cry when they say, "I live in Frankfurt." Are you British? No. Are you? What are you? I only have 10 minutes and I wanted to... Do you know them? You do?
Yes.
Who are you?
We went to junior high school and high school together in America.
Oh, you're American?
She's American.
Oh. But when you say "ja," does it mean like Fargo? Or?
Wir können auf Deutsch behalten.
You can't be American if you speak 2 languages.